Okay, Peter here in the radio shop. I just completed this 1929 Majestic broadcast radio receiver, console type, model 90. It is this was a pretty big project for a number of reasons. Uh, the cabinet, it really took a complete restoration from the cabinet to the electrical side of it. But ultimately really came out very well. This is now a very nice sounding, good working receiver. Let's turn it up a little bit.
Outfit, happy as can be,
So,
full of life, and
pretty cool
not
radio.
Too, deep into
This is the tuning control here.
Make sure.
And $1 was probably a lesson that lasted.
Haven't got it quite tuned in.
But I was playing.
Then this is the antenna control here.
Summertime.
Back to where we were.
But tone deaf and.
So anyway, the top was really beaten up. I refinished the top. The cabinet itself was in pretty good shape. Really, what I did was I really just did a very moderate refinish job on it. Pretty much left it as it was with just some upgrades to it, and maybe just really just a slight refinish job on it. It really was not bad at all. Let's look at the turner around. And you can see the work I've done here. Looking into it here, the main cables here had two wiring harnesses that needed to be replaced. That used the rubber wiring that these radios of this era were really known for. That also was a project. The power supply was a complete rebuild. That came out well. I also added a restraint on it so it doesn't fly around. And see here, the ballast. I removed the ballast. The ballast was intact, though it would have needed some work. But instead, I built a power transformer. A unit to reduce the voltage from for that the ballast was used for. I do not like a ballast in a wooden radio. It's kind of like putting a toaster in a wooden radio, and in my opinion is a fire hazard. So that's in there. There's a fuse on it now. So real pleased with that. That came out good. I also built an antenna for it. That's a loop antenna that's going around it there, and that works well. So the loop antenna seems to perform quite well. Seems to operate well across the band. And let's see, what else did I do? Oh, I added Bluetooth. There's a Bluetooth radio connection there. This is the connection, the actual Bluetooth unit. This is the connection here, which is just a 3.5 millimeter connection there. The Bluetooth receiver actually is upstairs. It's just it's not. There really isn't that much to it. So there you go. The chassis is all cleaned up, electrically restored. All capacitors replaced as needed. I did, for the radio guys, the Bluetooth connection was a little tricky. It's a double pole, double throw on the number 27 triode. I basically did two things to it. I switched in, for Bluetooth, I switched in a much lower value cathode resistor to switch in, to change the power detector from a detector to a Class A amplifier. That worked real well. This is a TRF type receiver. Anyway, that all came well. Also, this is a TRF receiver. This was the first generation receiver that was used in the 20s and maybe in early 30s. It's versus their superhet receivers. So they are an absolute pain in the neck, especially with triodes, to get them to tune them up right and all that, because of they have to be neutralized and all that sort of thing. But get them set up right. They work fine. They work really well. So there you go. So that's the story on this one. This was a pretty major project. I probably had well over 30 hours into this unit from various perspectives. It's got two number 45 triodes in the push pull and the audio output. So the audio output sounds real good. Sounds really nice in Bluetooth mode, or you can just connect a computer to it if you want. Essentially just an audio amp. So the 45s actually have becoming really, really valuable now. Those things go for about $50 a piece on eBay now. So anyway, so we've got, that's a story. Nice radio. I'm going to put it up for sale. At what I think is a reasonable price, and hopefully somebody can enjoy this monster radio. It weighs about 100 pounds, but it'll fit very nicely in somebody's house or shop or whatever. So oh, by the way, the two switches. This is the power switch here, and that's an antenna switch for local distance. So there you go. That's the story here on this really cool Griggs Granot Majestic line 1929 receiver.